everybody, and welcome to the Paranormal Portal Pieces. I'm your host, Brent Thomas. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us on this new episode of the Pieces as we dive into, this is a really old one. This is a great old episode from the earlier times on the portal. And this is an interview that we did with a gentleman by the name of Christopher Everard, who has the Enigma TV channel. If you go to enigmatv.com, you'll see his whole setup. He is probably one of the most prolific documentarians on the face of the earth. I mean, the man is just amazing. He's also one of those walking encyclopedias. Like, he's just got information right at the, on the tip of his tongue and can throw it out there at will and give you dates and facts and stuff. It's just a fascinating man to talk to. But this is a lot of fun episode that we did on the Ouija board with Christopher Everard, and I know you're going to love it. It's kind of split up into two segments, and one of the segments is it's just some of the humorous outtake of that episode. And of course, the second segment of this episode is discussing the Ouija board and its history and such. And it was just fascinating. So I hope you guys love it. Oh yeah, it's really great to have you here.
Yeah, it's it's good to be here, and thank you for the introduction. I've actually had stem cell therapy this week.
Oh wow.
Yeah, where they, I don't know whether you know how they do it, but you have to be injected into your stomach.
Oh.
And with a very, very big needle, and it leaves bruises. But when you buy like a salad in the supermarket, sometimes you get one of those furry caterpillars.
Yeah.
I've had the stem cells of furry caterpillars injected into my stomach.
Oh, what does that do?
It's actually the stem cells of the scrotum of these furry caterpillars, and I'm trying to propagate and grow eyebrows like Justin Trudeau. Except my ones will wiggle and will be alive, like having two caterpillars strapped to my forehead.
So they won't crawl down your chin or anything. Don's about falling over here.
Yeah. Only kidding.
Oh my God, you had me going. I'm like, stem cells? Really? What's going on?
I'm like, stem cells from the scrotum of a hairy caterpillar. I'm like, what the heck is that all about?
I started making the Spirit World series of films a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the interesting things about the Ouija board is that its
Oh.
history has been deliberately erased from public record. The history of even how it got its name is a mystery. But when I made the first Spirit World documentary,
Mm-hmm.
I'd already been researching the paranormal for several years.
Mm.
And I've been to Morocco. I've been all over North Africa, and I realized that there was a place in Morocco called Oujda. And Oujda is where the fakirs, these are nomadic kind of, they're public performance people. When they have street markets and camel markets and bride markets, they set up in the public squares, and they have snakes in baskets, and they play those weird reed pipes that sound a bit like oboes, and they hypnotize these snakes, and they also allow themselves to be hypnotized by snakes as well. And these fakirs, that's where the word fake comes from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they do it for money. After they do these paranormal sort of public displays, and then they pass the hat round. And this has been going on since way before biblical times. I mean, this goes back, probably before pre-dynastic times of Egypt. I mean, it goes back into the mists of time. And Oujda is one of these market towns in Morocco. It's on the coast of Morocco, where they've been growing kif, which is the traditional green kind of. It's not really a hashish. It's like their version of marijuana.
Oh, okay.
And that obviously also goes back into the history of mankind a long, long way. and they had a system of scraping out onto the sand a set of symbols. And some of those symbols did mean yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to have a snake, and they used to ask questions to the snake.
Oh.
And the snake's head used to point out certain symbols that they used to then interpret as an answer.
Oh, wow.
And that was happening in Oujda.
Okay. Oujda.
Oujda in Morocco, yeah. You can look at it on the map. It's Oujda.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
So, once I'd realized that, I then realized, oh, right, well, this has got lots of parallels to how the Ouija board works.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's obviously, I think, where somebody's changed the name.
Right.
Okay.
It was probably called Oujda.
Oh, okay.
The Oujda board. But then, because it was marketed by games companies, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the world's most popular game manufacturers have been marketing Ouija boards. So some clever marketing person realized that Oujda was, the first part was oui, which means yes in French,
Mm-hmm.
and ya, which means yes in German.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So they made it the yes or the ya board. Because Oujda was probably too much of an exotic kind of word for it.
Right. Okay.
And but the actual the guy that actually patented, because it's patented. There's an actual patent for the Ouija board.
Okay.
His name was Mr. Bond, and he managed to get a patent for it. I think it was something like. You can look up the patent for the Ouija board. If you type in February 10th, 1891, you can actually find a US patent for it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And that guy, Mr. Bond, I think he officially said that it'd been some lady friend who came up with the name Ouija. But, basically the way this all evolved is that speaking to spirits, especially speaking to the spirits of deceased parents and especially deceased grandparents, is the major mainstay of human civilization. The spirits and communication with our departed grandparents has really been the inspiration behind the great works. The spirits have always been there. They've always been the great influences of the greatest poets, the greatest bards.
Uh-huh.
So the bards used to be, if you like, the jesters and the poets of the Druids.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And what we have as a civilization, what's been given to us by spirits is incalculable, because the spirits are the ones that come to us in our dreams, and spirits speak in a symbolic language. They usually inject ideas into our dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And those ideas have then been, every object, every manufactured object on the planet began as an idea.
Right.
And spirits interact with us on the level of an idea.
Sure. So in the vein of a muse, right?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. But if you look at I've just done a big TV special on the Enigma channel about Easter Island, and the Moai statues. The reason that they're important is because they contain the spirit of the ancestors. And they're called the Tupuna. And this is a common thing that you find all over Oceania, Melanesia, Polynesia, New Zealand, the Maori people. They built these totems out of stone or wood, and they were receptacles. These statues are receptacles for the Tupuna grandfather elder spirits.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, it's only recently that they realized that these busted up fragments of white and red coral that they used to find, sort of scattered all over Easter Island. It's only in recent years, since the 1970s, that they realized, these fragments of white coral, if you glued them together, they made eye shapes. And they glued one together in the late 1970s and realized, this is an eye. And those statues had eyes which can be inserted into them.
Oh, okay.
And they used to insert the eyes to allow the Tapuna spirits to see at certain festival times. Oh. And this is something that is, giving a statue, whether it's made out of stone or wood, giving it something like those eyeballs, or in Benin and the Ivory Coast in Africa, they would cook a special porridge made out of barley and rye, and it would have it would be a fermented porridge, so it'd be slightly alcoholic. And they used to cook this porridge, and they still do. They cook a special porridge just as spiritual food, and the statues for their ancestor spirits have cavities in the chest and in the stomachs with a little door on them. And they put a teaspoonful of this specially made porridge actually inside the cavity of these. They're called power dolls, which is a kind of Western, misinterpretation of their real name.
Sure.
They're called Nkisi Nkondi statues. Nkondi means within. Nkisi means spirit. So their name means spirit within, and they're given special food to really give the spirit something in exchange for giving the tribal community information. It could be about weather, it could be about rainfall, it could be about when to plant crops, it could be all kinds of things. Whether how to plan a battle with a rival clan, it could be anything.
Wow. So let me ask you a question about the Easter Island statues, and this is some legendary thing I heard as a kid, and it might even have been from a comic book, to be honest with you. But do those statues actually move? Are they moving towards the ocean, or did they at one point, or is there any truth to that?
Yeah, I remember reading in you used to get these boys' adventure comic books.
Right, yeah.
I think
and there were these legends that they used to move around the island, and I remember reading that when I was a schoolboy.
Right.
Who knows? Maybe they have been moving around the island. I mean, it's a volcanic island, so you can imagine that some of the Moai statues would have been pushed along with lava.
Oh, sure.
There is at least one Moai statue underwater. So it's obviously been pushed off the edge of the island somehow.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for checking out this episode. We really appreciate it. And we hope that you will get subscribed and ring the bell so you're made aware every time a new episode is posted here on the Pieces channel. And new episodes should be posted every Tuesday and Thursday evening. So we hope you'll keep coming back for more of those. And please, if you wouldn't mind, get subscribed over on our youtube.com/paranormal portal channel, where you'll find all these full-length episodes, 1 and 2 hour episodes talking about any number of these paranormal topics that we so love. And I hope you guys are going to love them too. But we do live shows over there every week from Wednesday night through Sunday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we hope you'll get involved over there as well. And please keep an eye out for our podcast. And you can find the podcast on all the major platforms: iHeart, iTunes, Pandora, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, CastBox, and a bunch more. So thank you all so much for the love and support, and we'll see you next time.